Wrong phone number. I said I'd never give the thing out. I know you just go, I just got the phone in April. So I just got it in April and I never give it out. So wrong phone number. So, anyways, um, well, I'm supposed to be able to stream starting tomorrow, 23 hours, so it won't be till tomorrow night, which is much better than this. But it's supposed to take videos longer than 15 minutes now. Now I won't even feel like talking. I know. So I don't think so. If I would look at their fake news again, if I'm allowed to live stream, I don't know if that really matters. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just I don't know if that really matters because uh, was I did they do the thing about the Newton teachers before they deleted that channel? By the way, yeah. I mean, it's nonstop with this business, so I know you go. Oh, okay, so people can actually see me. All right, well, that's good to know. That's what I'm saying. Like you go, how the on earth? That's why. I mean, I honestly, people out in Quincy can't deal. All due respect, can't deal. That is just. I suppose I should start eating something. I was gonna do. I'm not really hungry for like a salad. I guess if I waited, I could just maybe eat the peanuts later or something because I have chicken already cooked. So, um, yeah, like it's just a thing. It's kind of like one of those things with me that it's a little bit. Well, you can rest assured if I were ever to meet people that I haven't seen you online. Like if you have online channels and stuff, I haven't seen them. As weird as it sounds, I guess it's not actually narcissism, but you can color me narcissistic. I don't do it. I've got someone on my Facebook friend on my Facebook that's supposedly Michael Foran. The picture doesn't even look like him, and he never posts anything or comments to me. So I'm thinking it's not. But and I know you just go. People just I'm not allowed. No one's allowed to talk to me, but this a person that's holding me a prisoner in this internet prison, hostage. Wolf Blitzer said a hostage. Okay, so anyways, uh, well, it at first maybe that's why people when I'm not calling her because I was like saying people's phone numbers. Yeah, that might be why. I know because you go, wait a minute, you're on a live stream saying to call you to prove that we can see you, and then you're saying our phone number. I was at that time, yeah. We would hope that people would ever get to a point in time where they don't just start a million people don't call someone's phone. Yeah, but anyways, I looked it up in the phone. You can look up your phone number in your phone. Yeah, and I go, oh my god, I'm putting the wrong extension too. Okay, there you go. So, honestly, me, I don't think it's enough time to remember a phone number. Yeah, like I haven't used it enough. I mean, you see how often I use my phone. How many people do I meet in a day that I have to give up my phone number? Yeah. So I don't think that's long enough time. But oh yeah, so what I was talking about. Now I have to get up because I did not put any tissues in my pocket. Got a tissue in my pocket. I gotta drink a bunch of water. Alright, so tomorrow is just walk. I'm not even supposed to do jog walks tomorrow. See how I feel, but yeah, I think I should stick to my schedule because I'll probably do more jog walks that way than if I violate it. It's on my schedule now to do it every other day. So I think I'd actually do it more in a given week than just go, no, I feel like I could do it again because it's fun. I think I should stick to my schedule and do it every other day. So tomorrow will just be a walk. So yeah, tomorrow will be a walk, and then I'm gonna have to get soda because I only brought that one bag because I wasn't expecting there to be 19-cent 1 liters on clearance. So I bought like 6 of them. I left like 2 or 3 of them there. I proved the thing I was talking about. That's why this people have to have a SNAP card and stuff. You can't make anything free. But I mean, clearly it would be different over time. It's just that some people, it's not going to matter how much water they have. They're never going to have enough because they did this. It would have been 25 cents. They had them on sale for $1, if you remember. I don't even think it was a year ago. It was like recently. And I did it for a couple of days, and then I had like a stockpile, and I stopped doing it. Yeah, because the only reason I did that is because obviously it's a sale. It's not like someone goes, and now everything's free for all eternity. You would just go and take what you need for that day, right? Or if you, like, say you didn't want to have to walk every day, you have to walk every day to stay in this physical body. But for right now, say that you didn't want to walk every day, I guess you wouldn't do that. But sometimes I like to get enough for a couple of days, and then because I enjoy not having to bring a bag or anything with me when I do that one where I go up the hill and I don't have to loop around. So sometimes it's nice to just do that without having to carry something. But you have to walk every day to stay in this physical body. That should make sense, right? Because otherwise, who is going to be available to change your bed linen and your diapers and stuff if you don't walk every day? Okay, so when you see someone in a decline from age or ill health, that should really hit home, and you go, yeah, this is kind of insane. Like, it's like that moment when Candy said she was going to drive from that house on Flanagan Place to that gas station. That is literally a 5-minute walk. I am not kidding you. That is literally a 5-minute walk. I think there's 2 houses, maybe 3, before the gas station. And we got into a car and she drove down to it and drove right back to the house. Because it's just something, when a person gets it in their head that you just jump in a car wherever you go, you don't think of it when you're doing it. And you're just like, we're going to drive there? Okay. I'm sure if that day, yeah, just, I'm going to go to Wollaston. See how that doesn't make any sense, dude? Okay. Um, Wollaston? I think I could easily walk to Wollaston. Why would you need to leave to go to Wollaston from here? Because I have a stay away at all. You probably don't even sleep at a fucking train station. I think that's been established too. Just that became some sort of an excuse somehow. I know you just go, you're mentally ill. Stay away from me. I meet mentally ill people all the time, but they don't agree to be my boyfriend and then commit sexual assault and publicly humiliate me. So, um, I don't think, like I said, Jen is a completely different thing, and I don't think Jen would let me believe that she was dead and I'd be start drinking and smoking cigarettes to the point where I'm wheezing. I don't think she would do that. Like, that's a public show. She was down at the shelter in 2021 yelling at them. She's probably like, what the fuck is this? How do you possibly, you're going to actually tell us that you don't have a fucking room to put this woman in? I don't know. Someone knows. There could have been a point in time where 10 people left their rooming house. And then I was in the shelter and they wouldn't put me in a fucking room. Oh yeah, you just go, you're literally gonna keep doing this? Anyways, it's supposed to snow. Supposed to snow. So looking forward to that. Oh, so on my walk about I already said this. I'm supposed to go over this again about not my walk about on my walk today about Richard and Juan. Um, Jeffrey, just like a fly on the wall, but yeah, like that. I'm not saying I'm gonna do that, but you get a sense of yeah, like what happened at the train. You get a sense of it, like um, just imagine a dude that's 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Like, would it have been funny then? They probably, I don't know what they think. They probably would have thought it was funny. And then there's like 50 of them on horses and stuff. Oh yeah, just like how could any man defend a female that you're doing that to? Yeah, talk about being mentally tortured. That's way too much suffering. Yeah, that is definitely way too much suffering. Like, anyways, flashbacks. So, got that White Lie song in my head. Dun 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 dun. White lies. I don't know the rest of it. Is it like blown away? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. White lies. Blown up. Is it just gone away? Blown away. Dun 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 dun. This is important stuff right here. 2 5-star TV. It's important. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. White lies. That's 2 weeks on a beach with Michael Foran. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. White lies. Gone away. Dun 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 dun. Oh, someone's leaving a comment. These are viewable. Okay, great. Well, apparently I have to hit that they're. This is even a live stream. Apparently I have to hit that they're not for kids or people can't comment. But the thing is, right, then you probably can't view them unless you can log in. Because if someone deletes your channel, you can't log in. You must have to have another. You have to create another account somehow? Okay. That's what I did. I used one that I already had created on the phone. So I don't know if that's why. I don't know if it would have let me create another account. I couldn't tell. I had to log out of my Google. You have to completely get rid of your Google and do a whole nother Google. Right, that's what it was. I had to log out of Google, which means you can't access that email or whatnot. Well, write the stuff down. It gets wicked complicated because they've done this to people so many times. In 2022, it started telling me there was too many accounts on that phone number because I was using the house phone here. I didn't have a cell phone, right? So I'm not making another account. Apparently, I have like two other YouTube accounts, which are probably associated to that phone and not my cell phone. This is the one that's associated with my cell phone. So let's hope there's no further problems. Just this is why I don't like the videos because the live stream asks you that, but people can still see it whether they're logged in or not, right? It's different. I don't think it's about kids. It's about if they can chat. It's not about if they can view it. Okay, so I put in the wrong phone number. Okay, but they deleted my entire channel. I didn't delete my channel, right? Just as a extra clarity. That's why I couldn't get approval to do the longer videos before. So it's nice when people tell me that they can see it, like Cindy. So I went to it too because this account was being notified when I put stuff on this account. So I clicked on it and it says it was terminated. This video is not available because the blah 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 has been terminated. I know you go, could you imagine doing that to people? Like that don't have a way to drive over here and go, is she dead? Because they're telling us they terminated her. I know you just go, talk about terrorizing people. That's what I'm saying. So, and then like I said, people can't view a video if it's you have to do an age restriction on it so people can comment. Is that why people have videos with comments turned off in the past? Okay. I'm actually one of the things that got me irritated is because I had made contact with some of these people that were posting videos that are they've been diagnosed with terminal illnesses, and I'm not being mean to them, right? So I was like really super duper like annoyed. So in terms of if I was gonna look at their fake news again when my live stream comes on, I don't even know. Yeah, I get tired of the who is who and who did it. Oh yeah, just um, that was part of the reason I was pissed. But I don't want to keep hammering away on this Brian person either. But you just go, I'm just like expressing myself on a personal level. Some things in life you can equate to people are shutting off people's social media. People are crazy. Um, this business with this Brian Buchanan thing goes well above and beyond people are crazy. That's why I keep hammering away on it. You just go, okay, so this is before, for years and years, I wasn't sure if people could actually see me because of the way I was being treated. You just go, they act like they never saw you before. And I'm all over the internet for 13 years. And some of it is obviously, I guess, mean. Right. So, anyways, because of the hospital. I think the hospital is like the big glaring thing about it, not the police, because I'll give the police this. They may not know where he is. Okay, that's why I don't believe he's dead. Okay, that's what I'm telling people. That's why I don't believe that because I asked Scott at the Quincy police station, what was it, August, right before I went to Washington, D.C., I asked him. And he said, he hadn't seen him in a while. He said he didn't remember. He admitted that he didn't remember the last time he saw him, but it had been a while. Because by that time, it had been a while, probably been at least a month. Okay. So then, like I told you, I saw cops up at the library. They didn't say, I didn't hear the name Brian. I'm assuming they were talking about him. To Vaughn, who's the security at the library. He works with the police, obviously. And I hear them say, well, if he comes back, I guess offer him a 90-day because to me, that's appropriate. the cops had started offering people to go into lockup for like detoxes and stuff. Okay. Because they can do the extra thing where they go, it's sexual assault. Okay. Like, if you're still going to go out with her, I mean, he's obviously not. It's been 7 months now. It's definitely sexual assault. I mean, Jesus Christ. It just, it's not even about him getting off drugs and alcohol. I'm past that. All due respect to him and everyone on drugs and alcohol. And I don't care if the dude ever gets off of drugs and alcohol. It's not about that. Okay? It's about public safety and the fact that he victimized me. I don't think 90 days is a long time. That's 3 months. The only reason he would care is because it interrupts his using. Okay, that's the only reason a dude like that would care. He's not me. He doesn't take daily walks or any of that. I mean, his lifestyle is laying around getting high and drunk. So, anyways, um, and it doesn't explain the hospital because at that time I was his emergency contact. So just I know sometimes people they want to do that thing where you make up all these 57 excuses. That has nothing to do with June 25th. Okay, that has nothing to do with June 25th and why you would just leave a person like that, not knowing if a person was alive or not. And she's all over the internet for 7 months, and you sit there going, knowing damn well if the person's alive or not. At least one person on planet Earth knows if he's living or not, and at least one person on planet Earth knows what time he left that hospital. And why would that matter as privacy? He clearly left the hospital, right? So why would it matter what time he left? That's a completely just whacked out thing to refuse to tell a person. So if at any time people are arrested and stuff, I don't know if that's on a computer system at Faulkner Hospital. Okay, it should be. It doesn't mean it is, but it should be in a medical record what time he checked in and then that he self-discharged and what time it is. Okay? That's what she's claiming happened. Maybe he discharged. And because she's going to claim this HIPAA laws and she can't tell me that because I asked her. You can't tell me that? No, which probably isn't true either. Okay? But in a trial where you get subpoenaed, you get arrested, probably by the military police, you get arrested, and then you're put in a chair, and then I get to ask you. Yeah, I do. I actually get to ask you because I'm the witness. So I get to ask you. I'm your accuser. So I get to ask you, what time? Give her a computer. Like someone can print it out and hand it to her. What time did he maybe discharge from Faulkner Hospital? Not it goes away unless she died. I'm not an inquisitor, but I just heard in my head, next time answer the inquisitor. I mean, 7, 8 months of doing that where the military police have to arrest you and put you in a chair, and it's the same woman, maybe on a live stream. Okay, this is video, bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay, this is your video, do, do, do. So, what time did Brian Buchanan maybe discharge your hospital? It's right there on the form. Just say it into the microphone. Thank you. I know you just go, nobody has to worry about, I'm going to somehow forgive this guy or whatever is going on in your brain matter, which is clearly ill. A human to tell her what is going on with Brian is a person with brain disease. I was out and about that day. I don't even think we were being nuked. So I'm not exactly sure why she was doing that, other than she's having an issue with her brain. So there's a reason why I want answers to these questions. If I'll remind you again, why? Because I was getting a sense, which can be wrong, okay, that you people are part of what is called the community. Okay. where you took over federal offices, you're printing yourselves money through a DTA office, you're pretending you're lawyers, you're pretending you work for Social Security, you're pretending that you're nurses, and you're pretending you're doctors, and you took over a hospital that was closed. Get it? Okay. You're printing out hospital bans for a person, and that's not actually his name. There's no birth record for a person named Brian Edward Buchanan in the state of Massachusetts, things like that. Things that, records that people can look up and go, you're never going to believe this, Mary, but we actually looked into this. There's no birth record of a person of that name in the state of Massachusetts or Vermont. Okay, so this is like shocking news that the public would be informed about. I'm not saying it's that bad. I'm saying that's a suggestion as to why I would be told, in my opinion, by God, to keep asking you that. Some people go, we are still talking about this? Yes, because the people refuse to answer simple questions. So, yeah, we're still talking about it. Is there something else going on that we would be talking about? Not today. Not on Mary Lagore's 25 Star TV, which is solely between me and the creator at this point. Because I'm not even taking in your fake news right now. Okay, sometimes that does deter me, but it is what it is. It's almighty. So this has been going on since June 25th of 2023, and it's now February. Okay, it's sort of like an assessment of a group of people, not the whole population, of a group of people. It's an assessment, a cognitive assessment, and just an assessment of the level of criminal activity that's been going on that the public definitely needs to be made aware of if true. Okay. Um, well, it's sort of set up that way. That's why I wanted to know if I was visible online. Sometimes there's a reason, many reasons why I want to know that. Okay. Because clearly there's some people that have been ignoring me for 13 years that don't actually have the right to ignore me, even though they think they do. Okay, because this is the United States of America, and I'm a U.S. citizen, and I have constitutional rights. I have civil liberties and constitutional rights here, whether people like it or not. Okay, so there's a certain way that you could actually sort of, you can't take over the United States of America. You can dissemble your government if you find it to be corrupt, uh, what is it, to its means or something. That's not what has taken place here. You have people that took over your government, not they got rid of it. Okay. You can't do that. They may have thought they could, but you actually cannot. It's called treason. And then it reached crimes against humanity. So I'm one of your witnesses for both of those things. There's more than one, but it becomes an issue when you keep shutting off your hostage that's a witness to treason and crimes against humanity. Okay. So, because it's called free speech, and this is the United States of America. I'm not inciting a riot. Okay. I'm not a danger to others or a danger to myself. So, we went over that. Which is also witness intimidation, by the way. Okay. So, if people were doing that, then the public gets more of an idea about the level of criminal activity, and then it's also for their protection when determining if and where they want to seek out medical care, medical treatment. We don't want to have a population here that's petrified to go to a doctor. So, yes, I think at this point it's, 7, 8 months. Okay. So, after a while, you go, okay, we get it. I mean, but she spoke to you in real life, and then it's the World Wide Web. So, it shows a level of sort of like ignoring, is what I'm saying, which, believe me, goes on in real life too. Like, say that you work for HUD and you don't know anything about this Mar-a-Lago business. What else don't you know about as you're working for HUD? You're running HUD, you took over HUD. You work for the DTA office. You're not the government, but you're giving people incomes through the DTA office, but you're not the government. Okay. So if you weren't paying attention to this before, I don't want to get too complicated because sometimes it's like talking to a specific audience. In April of 2023, after going back out to Quincy, Massachusetts, and being at that Father Bill's Place Quincy shelter, this is a new thing they started doing because I was out there from August of 2021 to January of 2022. So they weren't doing this yet. So this is due a year after that. Okay. Um, they all of a sudden at the shelter said that they were going to give me what's called a voucher, not a Section 8, not a room, a housing voucher that's the same thing as a Section 8, supposedly. This is what I'm told at first, okay, by the first case manager. So by the time I had to go to court to clear warrants, which ended up being made up, by the way, they weren't even real, uh, in order to get cash through the DTA office on a medical disability because I have a medical condition that's well documented in a medical record. So they all of a sudden had 14 people that could sign off on DTA cash. And you go, okay, well, that's different. So I went to visit their nurse practitioner at the shelter and she signed it. She already has it in a medical record and she took my blood pressure and signed off on it. So I take that to the DTA office. They tell me I have to clear 2 warrants. Okay, so I go to Dedham District Court the very next day. They call, oh, I'm sorry. They call you on the phone from the DTA office. They don't discuss any of that. Okay, they don't discuss any of that at the DTA office in Quincy. You submit the paperwork there. There's a person there that talks to you, and then they have to call you on a telephone. Okay, I haven't had a telephone until April of 2023, which I had to have a person assist me in getting. Okay. So right there off the bat, something's terribly wrong, and it's been going on for 13 years about a Holocaust and purposely holding people hostage and shutting off their ability any way they can think of to get a means to live and have a phone to call people and tell them what's going on, get on social media, all of that. Just literal captives that are U.S. citizens. So, anyways, at, so this part of it is new. That part is old that I've reported many, many times as this has been going on since 2011. Um, I show up at Dedham District Court, and I knew that it was odd right from the get go because um, I don't know how to explain it. Just the whole, they say that they want to give me what's called the 15A, and then the dude who's the clerk called me Marie Lagore. My name is Mary. Okay, so it was like they got in a thing where they're pretending I'm Marie Laveau. Okay. All right. The public, yeah, you just go, what? Okay. So the judge says he wants to do a 15A from the holding tank. Okay. And I got to shut this off because it'll be never ending. It's the same California cell phone number, yes. Okay. I call that mental insanity. So, um, because it's blocking. Okay, in case you don't know how sick these people are, that's a perfect example. I don't know anybody in California. Nope, it's from when I was doing the live stream. Okay, uh, so this isn't a show for people. Okay, anyways, um, I don't care who it is, but I suspect that it's probably a military base in California. That's what I suspect it is. Okay, and then it, yeah, like you might think at first these are people that were Aaron Carter fans and they got mental illness or something. That's not really making any sense. Okay, just they don't. I don't think those people have the ability to delete my channel on YouTube. They're victims of this stuff too. So it's possible because some of the text, some of the voicemails almost sound like that Gainville guy, right? They could have a little bit of something going on. I don't know if they're trying to communicate something to me that they're not actually. No one has to talk in coded language. No. So, anyways, some people get what's called aphasia, right? So I don't want to be rude, just I'm in the middle of doing something. So, um, right, exactly. That's why the phone is off. That's why I shut it off. Because I'll also get constant notifications because someone did something to my phone where I can't silence the notifications. Now I'm like way off track. So, um, they want to put me down in the holding tank to do what's called a 15A, which is like a mental competence. I know you just go, a mental competence? It's assault and battery, an assault and battery with a deadly weapon. And the lawyer is completely deranged, okay? Where she starts telling me this stuff like she's going to try to go with, she's going to try to say that I was mentally insane at the time and we can hire our own psychiatrist. Like, I immediately was like, is she think this is a Social Security case? Like, what is this? So, anyways, I'm just trying to get these things cleared so that I can get my DTA cash. I'm in a shelter with my belly out to here because I'm not supposed to be in a fucking shelter. So it gets even more beautiful. They're seeing me in person with my belly out to here because I'm in a shelter I shouldn't be in. Okay, because I can't follow my diet and rest program there. It's part of a medical condition that I'm supposed to be on a medical disability for that they refuse to approve. So, anyways, it's all part of the testimony that the public has an interest in hearing because of what's going on with the thermonuclear weapons. Okay. As much as some people, it scares them and they don't want to know about it because it's obviously that's frightening what's been going on. You just ignore it, I guess. You try to ignore it for 13 years. I can't ignore it because I'm the victim of it. So, the what do they call it? Not the he's not called the bailiff. Who's the guy that's like the security? He goes no. He basically stopped them from doing that, and they set up an office upstairs, and it's some chick on a Skype, and she was just I could tell that she was saying weird shit, and you're just like, okay, okay, and then she does her evaluation, and apparently I can stand trial. I'm competent to stand trial. I know you just go breathe. All the grace of God comes over you, and you just do what they tell you to do, and you just breathe, and then you just go, okay, okay, so we're done with that, all right. And I figured this shit was just gonna get dismissed because you go, this is your reaction to me, okay, and then um, I'm supposed to go back. They make up a court date or whatever, right? So, anyways, I get the money turned on at the end of April. By October, they already shut it off. That's the point of the thing. And then they went in and took out in 3 separate increments the remaining cash that I hadn't spent. So they shut off a medical disability. Uh, I haven't heard anything from Social Security, whether they approved me or denied me, because they refuse to stop mailing stuff to the wrong address. They keep mailing stuff to a shelter. So, anyways, this is the point. Sorry. Um, when I talked to the woman the second time after I cleared the warrants, okay, after having an argument with her, because I go, okay, so I must have said something about the government. She literally says to me on a telephone, I'm not the government. You're not the government? Okay. And so you're saying that you're not going to approve every stipend. Okay. That's all. And that was before I went to court. So anyway, she admitted on a telephone that she's not the government, but she is printing people money through the DTA office We assume in Quincy, Massachusetts, but she's on a phone and sounds like Jabba the Hutt. She sounds like she weighs about 1,000 pounds. Okay. Because this is like the new thing where everything has to be a telephone because they denied people phones. Okay. It's like a complete atrocity holocaust. Okay. Where people are forced into these shelters and the conditions are abominable. And you're attacked in there by the people holding you hostage. Okay. You can be raped. You can be attacked by people you're in a shelter with. They can let level 3 sex offenders into a dormitory with you to attack you just because they want to. People get forced out to the literal street with no means. So I already was told about this in Washington, D.C. in 2017. So it's not just Massachusetts that's going on. So, and then I also visited Florida in 2018 and couldn't get into a shelter. They literally wouldn't let me into the shelter down there and tried to send me to Lake Eola. So there's some horrifyingly sick people on a land piece. So in case you didn't know anybody that this has been going on with, and you didn't have weird things happen to you, but it just didn't get to that level, right? People basically did a hostile takeover of your country and they're being euthanized. Okay, that's the short answer for what's going on. But we tried to get them to do a transition plan. It was sort of like the jig is up by 2011. What you folks are doing, and I'm the Virgin Mother. Here's a whole bunch of proofs about God is real, and then they had time to do a transition plan they weren't doing. I don't know if it made the situation worse or not. I don't know if that's really, we can gauge that. We can assume if you believe in God that it didn't make the situation worse. It made it better because people voluntarily left their homes that would have been literally attacked in their homes had they not done it. Okay, because you know that from what happened in 2021. So they literally would have. I would have been out of my house anyway. They would have literally attacked a woman in a house with 5 or 6 minors in it. I met a couple at the shelter from Georgia that lost all of their children. They literally took their children from them because they couldn't pay their electric bill. Okay, so I think everyone knows about the mortgage crisis in 2008 and the stock market crash and people losing their jobs and losing their life savings. Okay, and then they start going, it's neglect and stuff because you don't have the electricity on. That actually might have been what someone was trying to do to me. And then because I got the electricity turned back on, it became something else. Okay, I knew it was weird when I went to Sumter Electric, and I'm the homeowner, and I'm still married to this dude at the time, and they would not give me a copy of my electric bill. I could pay it. They were already acting like I wasn't the homeowner, and my house was the house wasn't even in foreclosure yet, was it? But it wasn't foreclosed on. Like they may have started foreclosure proceedings, but it wasn't even foreclosed on, and they were already doing that. I can't get a copy of my own electric bill. They just literally stole people's houses. So anyway, I went into this before about if people had an interest in how can people, like, why would people do this? How can people be this insane? They have brain disease. It's a brain plague. And what they're doing is actually a primate behaviorism. So if you haven't yet started watching videos about primate behaviors, it's really beneficial. Um, it helps calm you down to have some kind of an understanding of why these people are so sick and why they're doing that. It doesn't make it okay. I'm not saying that, but it actually helps you cope with it to know why they're doing it. Okay. Um, so clearly, it doesn't make it okay when I personally have been telling them that they have brain disease for what, a decade? Okay. So I'm sure other people have in depth, people that have degrees in primatology have probably told these people that what you're doing is actually like an animal behaviorism. I know that you probably think this is a new societal plan or this is a revenge. It's not. It's a brain plague. That's why there's a whole bunch of you. And yes, primates do actually work in a non-language thing. You can see it in the videos. Okay, so not God's telling you to do that. Okay. If there was a confusion about what I was doing, which there may be, um, I think I explained it a couple of minutes ago. God would tell you to do that because they're going to attack you in your house anyway. He knows everything that's going to happen ahead of time. So if you're one of those people, it's like in the book too. If you gave up stuff and you're like, why did I do this? This woman is a Nazi. I'm not a Nazi. I'm a prophet. So um, you're not. You're not dumb heads. People are not all of a sudden taking over everything you left behind. They're all going to die. So you don't have to worry about that. They're not taking over your America. Okay? Like, clearly, why would you walk into it's like you're in that film, that vacation film with Chevy Chase, and they're frying chicken on a rock. Okay. Just, you're where the services are. Those people are not where the services are, and they're getting nuked too. So just imagine all of a sudden, like you're Jenny Apple, and what are you going to do with your wheelchair out in the wilderness like that? Right. So you don't have to worry about that. All right. Let's see. 6:30. I guess I should probably make a salad or something because I did do a bunch of stuff today. So this one's kind of boring. Like I'm just blah 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 blah. That's why I like the live streams rather than a video. Because you would think if a person's doing a video that they've sort of like got a presentation or something. That's not what I do. This is basically what I do because I'm a hostage. So I would say so far today, the topics are basically again the reiteration about Brian Buchanan. Um, um, I don't know if they're talking about hospitals still on the news. Maybe after the live stream comes back on, I'll take a look. Since the second that you shut me off, I'm shutting you right off. So let's try to stop that nonsense. There's never in a day you're trying to ignore me. Okay? There's never in a day you're trying to ignore me. If you can hear the sound of my voice, you're not trying to ignore me unless you're two people in a house that can't get me to stop talking. Get it? Okay, so um, I explained the thing about the Newton teaches. Let's not have another one of those. Okay. Uh, a prophet explains what possibly God is going to have you guys doing. Okay. So if you could not fight that, you'd feel a lot more comfortable. And then I know that you get like flipped out and that you feel like you're being ordered around or you think that what you're doing is insane, except when it is insane. And then these things with the takeaways. Okay. You said you were on strike. Okay. In your teachers, I don't know if you're elementary school, high school, I don't know if you have children, you're all over a television. People can see me on a live stream. Uh, and I guess to the point of supporting you about what you're talking about, like you're talking about the thermonuclear weapons and okay, and then all of a sudden you're going to take money and the strikes are over. Let's not have another one of those. Okay? Let's not have another one of those. So you found out again that you're not in control of the thermonuclear weapons. Okay? You were told what makes the strikes end. So it can be upsetting, and that's why you're not supposed to upset me and shut me off, and then I ignore you. You do not want that. So if you could curb that behavior permanently, that would be fantastic. You already lost my Twitter account because I logged out of it, and I don't think I wrote the password down, and you're claiming I forgot it. It should be right in the, why is it not popping up on the computer? Get it? Okay, so you self-terminated the Twitter after shutting off the channel. I went, never in a day. That's it. No more Twitter. Okay, so no one was talking to me on it anyways. It's sort of like this Facebook. That's why I prefer to do this. So I'm not partaking in any activity that you guys are doing that is harming other people. I'm not doing it, especially children. I'm not going to help you terrorize and torment and do takeaways on children. So let's not have another one of those. Okay. Um, it's not unusual what you're experiencing because you want to believe you're controlling something. Okay. It could be that God is explaining to you that it's the sort of opposite about that, but he doesn't want you to be frightened about it. Okay. It's my opinion that you prefer to think and believe that you're controlling your own extinction, that God is allowing you to believe that. Okay, I'm not going to interfere with that delusion. That's not what I'm talking about. But when you go, now the strikes are going to end, maybe not do that. Don't test it out. Okay, don't test it out because you're unable to do the one thing that would stop that. Just like the one thing that shuts off the driving and stuff. Okay. At this point, only Almighty God can stop that. Okay. Only Almighty God can stop that. But, right, just be more about when you see the weather, promoting it, and don't go, the strikes are over. And never, ever, ever do something where children go, there's not going to be any more school, and they're gonna be with us, and then go, aha, we're taking money, aha. Never do that. Okay, like whatever it is that goes on in your families and stuff, um, if you could try to stop terrorizing and harming your youth and your children and your young people, that would be great. Maybe think about the traditional things that you've done before this nonsense began. You've got Valentine's Day coming up, Easter, so it's easier when there's holidays. Okay, Easter parades, Easter bonnets, Easter bunnies, candy, the spring fest, egg coloring, the resurrection, all of those things. Okay, that would be real. You've got March Madness with the basketball, St. Patrick's Day. Okay, so you have things. Um, uh, you can. I don't mind if you this is. I don't mind if you pretend that you're at war with another country overseas. Okay, and stuff like that, like China, Russia, you're at war, you're going to stand your ground. But I mean, as long as you made it seem like you didn't want people to be terrorized and terrified. Okay, so that includes children. Right. Some of it I do interpret it like this because WCVB television was in High Park and we had a thing set up for the mile challenge about the jogging because we've been doing jog walks. Sometimes you get a little bit antsy like that. You don't like it. You don't like anything that has to do with physical activity. Your children jogging a mile is not going to harm them. Okay? You repeatedly making it seem like you're on board for their belief system and then yanking that out from them does harm them. Okay? No one is going to judge you because you can't walk a mile and you're not going to jog a mile. Okay? Um, so let's hope it's not related to that. But that was going on at the same time. Okay. That was pretty much it in terms of that. That's why I was like, we were just sort of in tune, I thought, with we don't have to talk about it all the time. Gabby said she doesn't want to. Okay, but we haven't talked about it at all. She's talking about lung cancer. She's talking about foregoing treatment in lung cancer. She's not, I don't think she's necessarily, she mentioned the word radiation. So, right. It's my job, I guess, to talk about it. It's supposed to be sort of truth TV. Obviously, I talk about other things, but I don't think people would be appreciative when they tune into 2 5 Star TV that the person is not even acknowledging the nuclear weapons, especially right now. Okay, so I think it's good for the public to see me, even though sometimes people don't like the language and stuff. You go, they don't like the language. You need to talk to that person named Devora over at the Aspire. She would probably tell you really need to stop shutting her off because I don't know if you guys are like on something because other people are frightened, right? And just the biological stresses and stuff of it. So apparently, wasn't really noticing it myself, and I felt very stressed out at the time because of being attacked in Quincy and the whole Brian Buchanan business. And she still even was like, "How do you stay so calm?" So that's just it's called the grace of God, and my perspective is a little bit different. I'm a different species, and my outlook about things is a little bit different. Um, yeah, I want to go do that thing. But one of the things I began sort of alluding to, sometimes I'm kind of in a thought of my own head, so it's probably not coming out expressively on Facebook. That's why I like talking um, about when I went to Albuquerque, New Mexico. I went there. I left here on April 2nd of 2019, and I was there till about mid-May. So I took a walk through this neighborhood in Albuquerque, and it was just every other house had these dogs. They like the houses are very close together, and they have like I don't know if it's stucco, like cinder block with stucco fences in the backyard, like a high fence. So it's not like a fence you can see through. It's like a wall, and then these dogs barking, and they're like jumping, and you can see that there's a dog. They jump that high, but they can't jump over the thing. And it was just like every other house, man. They were like attack dogs. Those are like I don't even think that that's a guard dog. That's like an attack dog. And I just walking. I was like yelling, walking and yelling, like your dogs aren't gonna stop me and stuff. Like I'm walking through a forest filled with wolves or something. I don't know. Maybe they don't care if you yell at them, but stuff like that. I don't know if that's maybe why people might have wanted to know. So that came up this morning. If that actually begins to affect a person, to have God having a person do stuff like that. So um, I don't know if those people are still there or if those houses are still there, but they were probably at dogs because they're worried about people attacking them. It was already really bad out in New Mexico by 2019, real bad with the brain disease. And so people doing primate behaviors, just attacking people in the houses. There could be 5 empty houses, but they've got to foreclose your house and get you out of it. They don't actually want your house. That's what's so spooky, scary about it. That's why they end up putting you in these shelters and stuff. They don't want to do, they don't want just your house. You need to watch the videos about the what primates do when they go to war. All the ones that say they're going to a war, um, attack the female, they murder their children and steal their females. Okay, it's like gruesome. So we don't want to be doing that. You've already repeated Germany, World War II. So some kind of acknowledgement about a brain disease and not just you're seeking reparations and you hate the rich, even within your own mind. You don't have to come to me personally, go, I've accepted my brain disease as my personal unsavior. You don't have to be doing that. I'm talking about yourselves, where you go, I better start writing stuff down. I mentioned it a couple of years ago. That's why I write stuff down. It makes it easier. it's not as scary if you're starting to get a little bit of cognitive decline and forgetting things. So anyway, that's an interesting one in terms of people that like sort of like weird, I guess, military training. I don't know how you would set that up. Um, you'd have to make sure those dogs can't actually jump over the fence, you know, and then you'd have to have your recruits walk down the thing if the dog's jumping like that. So I don't know. Maybe they do weird stuff like that. I'm not aware of it. I don't know. I don't know how many of those people that went, if how many people actually went to Albuquerque, New Mexico. There was some people. I don't know how many of them were police officers and military people, and they were probably just like, "This is all we're going to be doing." You don't kill people in my military. Not after not since Exodus 2013. You don't. Right. That's why you have these things that you press a button and it's hopefully it's on automatic. It's like you're doing a lethal injection. But anyway, I'm talking about just um, anyway. Well, I don't know. It warmed up right away, so it wasn't actually that bad. I'm sure some people have been through a heck of a lot worse. I don't. There was nobody else up on top of the hill but me, so maybe they were colder. I don't know. They didn't even have a cardboard box to huff in or something all night. Um, I would have had to have, right? I would have had to have eventually got up, but um, I guess I have a pretty high tolerance to the cold, which I didn't know. Yeah, like I think we get spoiled. It's not comfortable, but it probably takes a lot colder, I think, than you think for a longer amount of time to actually die. And you probably have to be wet, right? Because like I told you, I laid down on the literal ground outside of South Station in January. It was like January 24th of 2022, and I refused to get up. It wasn't like 8 hours. I refused to get up. It was like uh, that rage where clearly God is telling you to get the heck up, and I just wouldn't do it consciously. Consciously, I was. It's you go from painful to being in a rage, and I'm sure your blood pressure is probably sky high at that point. Yeah, just in my mind, all I kept saying is, I'm going to kill you people. I'm killing you this night. You're going to die this night. That's all I was saying in my head. I don't know anybody that you feel ever did that and they died, and like you had a curiosity. If you thought they did it on purpose, that's probably what they did to be able to do it. I don't know, unless you think they're going to think pleasant thoughts. What the body does to react to that level of cold, I don't think they could be doing that. Yeah. I don't think they could be doing that because it's painful. And then the body like causes the blood pressure to go high to try to warm itself up because you won't move around. So I don't think they could be thinking. Plus the thoughts they would have to be thinking something bad. Right, like I killed you this night, man. Not a chance I'm getting up. It's like I guess I'm dying here in the fucking ground. You just literally went and forced me out of that hotel right after a blizzard. And it's like it was like 7 degrees that night. It was wait, that wasn't 7 degrees in Albuquerque. No, it probably seems like an exaggeration. It was probably like 30 degrees up there. Yeah, it was probably like 30 degrees, but you're up on top of a hill in the desert. It was pretty cold. I don't like being cold like that, man. That was like really uncomfortable. Yeah, I didn't have a blanket, but I was in a cardboard box. It's definitely not the same as a plastic bag, but you can't stick your head in a plastic bag either. But I attempted it. The plastic bag method is definitely way better than a cardboard box. Yeah. But I don't know about igloos and stuff because that's like a temporary thing so you don't die. You can't just do that every night. You don't even sleep. The next day, you're walking over to Savers and breaking out the last $20 you have to buy a blanket. Yeah. And then, of course, it warmed up because it's Albuquerque. It was never that cold again. It was never that cold again. Nope. Just someone asked me that. Blue sweatshirt asked me that. What made you go up there? God? Duh, why would I be up there like that? I got tired of sleeping in these things, and it was just I don't you something he just tells you to do something and you do it. I'd rather be sleeping up there than in the city. Yep. Especially with the mattress. Once it warmed up, you just walk all the way up there. You walk 26 miles, why not? If you know there's a mattress up there and it's not going to rain. That was the problem is it kept raining. Yeah, it was a lot of rain and it kept raining, but you just get used to it. That's how it's probably like God's way of explaining it to me so I don't get worried about it. It's like you really just get used to it. And I was like a little bit younger, but I was in my late 40s. You just get used to doing it. Right? You're like, that's where I want to sleep, so I walk up there. They did that stuff. They used to do that stuff in Italy. I don't know if you've ever been to the Amalfi Coast. Yeah. They have a pulley system and stuff because they're probably not supposed to be having elevators and cars. I was talking about that. Yes, people get old and then someone else has a turn to live up there that can walk up there. I know you just go, people are completely insane. What are you gonna fly an airplane up there next? Because someone's old now? Okay, and they had their 30 years up there. Somebody else's turn. Were people mad because I was sleeping up there every night? I don't remember seeing anybody walking by except that one dude. But he said he was on his way to the casino or something. He wasn't interested in sleeping there. My elbow gonna start doing that thing again? What the hell? I just actually gotten rid of it. It's probably the laundry detergent. Yeah. Well, yeah, I did just take a shower. It is a different bar of soap, but I've used that kind before. It's probably the laundry detergent. But anyways, for some reason it's just that elbow. And I was just commenting about it the other day that it was like completely gone. All right, so let's see, an hour and 7 minutes. Yeah, I know. I gotta go downstairs and start cooking some eggs. See what's on Pluto free TV and stuff. So, um, I know, just I'm so relaxed. I'm just like do. I'll get there. Yesterday, I ate the Now I don't have to worry about shelling peanuts tomorrow when I don't even have that much to do. Well, maybe I'll just shell another pound. We'll see. I doubt it though. I'm not going to do it unless I have to. I kind of know myself. But yesterday I didn't eat dinner. I had a plantain and some almond butter. I guess that's dinner. I mean, some people don't think that's a dinner. It actually is. Some people don't think this is a meal. This is 224 grams of fat. That's not food. That doesn't taste good. Every day it tastes good. Every single, I don't know how many years have I been doing this now? Well, I started eating dried fruit after Albuquerque. I was not eating dried fruit before Albuquerque. So I've been doing this at least since 2019, but I was eating peanuts before that. So I don't even know. Was it around 2014, 15? So it's been a decade now. It's been 10 years about. Yeah, that's a long time in terms of like fitness, sticking to a fitness routine, a medical diet. That's 10 years dedication. Because that's probably just what I eat. You're hungry, you eat food. Just like that's a question to ask people. Do you get tired of pizza? Why would I get tired of peanuts then? Yeah, like I don't get tired of pizza either, but it's just this tastes good to me. I like it. It satisfies me. I don't feel gross after I eat it, but I couldn't see myself getting tired of pizza. But it's wicked high in sodium and carbs, and it has the cheese on it. It's like three bad things for polycystic liver disease. And I just when I eat it, it usually will. I'll be like, and because I can eat so much of it, and I'll be like, and then probably not super swollen, but thirsty and stuff. Like I'll drink like a ton of fluid. Even before I was on this diet, I was like that when I was younger. Al and I used to order two large stuffed crust pizzas from Pizza Hut and eat them. We would get the 20-piece meal from KFC and eat that. We'd go to this place and I used to get like clam strips on a platter like this big with onion rings. I am like a powerhouse eater. Yeah, that translates into this. Yeah, that definitely translates into this. Like, say that you took a person, because they've done it to me at the shelter, who eats this every day, and you took that away from the person. Okay, it's pasta. Okay, you better make me a plate like this and stop putting two spoonfuls on mine and giving the fat guy a huge plate. He probably can't even finish that. All right, so this, let me see, let me upload this one.